Well, who's the blaster on the second best LATAM team? Which team is the second best LATAM team even?
It's a team that I'm I0's on and Ice Monkey, right? It would be that team.
It's Pac-Man, P4K Man.
Pac-Man. Okay.
Apparently, I mean, I trust Aspect.
Yeah, he probably
He's a grinder.
knows. Yeah, he knows that.
I'm sure Aspect has bumped into Spanish-only speakers in ranked more than more times than I've even drawn breath. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting change from them. That's a post-lane thing, though. Honestly, I'm happy for G2 that they finally put on a good LAN performance, at least in this current
PPL
era of
finals.
Paladins. Yeah. Like,
they looked insanely strong.
they haven't won a LAN since they beat the Chinese, right? QG Craze?
It was at least a year, yeah. I think that's what they're saying. Like the last 3 or 4 LANs they're at, they just lost and underperformed.
Mm-hmm. It's good for them. It's good that they finally were able to break past that mental block that they've had every single LAN.
Mm-hmm. The problem was I don't think they adapted fast enough like everyone else did.
Mm-hmm.
You saw every other team adapting right away, and G2 was a little bit behind, even though they're at the ahead at the start of it. You had Na'Vi, who was just doing the weirdest drafts ever. I could never understand their draft during that whole entire LAN. It was only the first game that they had was the only draft I understood. Everything after that, I was just confused.
And Na'Vi EU was pretty different. They had They definitely adapted to the LAN meta faster than a lot did. I mean, Fnatic. I mean, I think Fnatic underperformed in the later LAN.
Just records. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They rocked in the PPL final and PPL LAN finals, right? That's where I think they went 4-1 with Na'Vi, right? I think they either went 4-1 or 4-2. They looked really dominant in that series.
We were scrimming during that.
Mm-hmm.
During that set.
Okay.
So that I'm not sure.
I think they were really dominant while the NA was really close. I think NA was 4-3 for G2, barely over NV. But yeah, Fnatic did the same thing as G2 basically. Looked really strong at the start and just didn't adapt fast enough. And it was really weird from Fnatic because they're usually the ones on top of everything, and they can literally play anything in the game right now. And they're usually insane on lane too.
And they were the first team to start breaking out the Willow too. Other than Hands of Justice. They were the first team. They were the first team to at least in the PPL and in Europe to really utilize the Willow. At least in the best of my knowledge. I mean, maybe some random cis team they scrimmed did it, and they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
But they were the first. They were the first team to really bring it to the limelight, and that has honestly, I think that just the resurgence, or the surgence of Willow, has kind of defined the meta in 1.3. Not just her as a pick, because if it was just her, then you'd ban her. But just the whole in-hand caught, massive burst meta, Willow as a character kind of defines how things are sitting, at least in 1.3.
Yeah, the 3 heroes from 3 different roles. I would say Nando, Willow, and Furia were the 3 heroes that were at the center of this meta. It was aggression from the tanks, where you're just zoning off and then diving the back line, where you had the Barrack, who was also zoning, you had Ruckus, who was also zoning, and you have Willow, where
not even say McCullough or Khan.
They're insane, but teams learned how to play around them, and you saw Na'Vi especially, I think, was giving every team the con basically. They did that for some Envy in the semis, in the winners side of the bracket. I think they gave con away 2 times or something.
I'll be honest, I think that was kind of a gamble, in the sense that most teams are just banning con and scrims.
Yeah.
And you take a gamble there because you're our teams
still
aren't used to playing con,
practicing it, know what comps to run in the meta, because people were playing it at 1.1 and 1.2, where it was being banned most of the time, but first pick every once in a while would get it for a trade. But in 1.3, I don't think at least Blaze got con a single time, maybe one time after the LAN, but every team was just instantly banning it.
Yeah.
But so no one actually knew what comps it would actually work well with and what comps it would counter.
People would theorize, but you really would never get to play it in scrims. Not often, at least. I think the only time that you saw con a lot was you're in PPL. give me your opinion on this. What is the statute? You know the statute of limitations for like crime, where like 20 years after you do something, you can talk about it technically, or like 25 years or something.
Okay.
What would you say that is on like on scrims? Could I talk about what teams were running in like?
I think
the OBs.
I think when you talk about another patch, I think it's fine to go over some of it.
Okay.
Right. So like,
I can't see why it would be a problem if I talk about what a team was running like on the con release patch. Like there was only one team in the PPL at the time that was utilizing it. I think you would know.
Yeah.
But it was.
I mean, I think that.
I mean, I could just talk about it. It's long ago at this point. I mean, it was SK.
Yeah.
They were the only team that was using the con in scrims
after like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, like right after con
2
came out, they were doing con buck dive, and it was insane. And like before people adapted to it, that was like unreal aggression.
Yeah, so at the very start, what they were doing is they had they did a lot of the solo tank con. At the start, they were doing solo tank con with the triple DPS and just playing angles and like that.
That definitely fell off though. The solo tank con.
Yeah, that fell off really fast, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I think Tox had part of influence in there where like you would start partnering up with another flank or another aggressive damage like the Cassie or Leanne, or a flank like the Xin or the Buck, and like you would just play really aggressive with that shit.
It's the same way that a Nando would pair with any DPS, really. Although I think Nando works a little better with like BK than Khan does.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely is different, right? With the Nando, you're going to have more aggression. With the Khan, you can play more of a poke. You can play more of like all in.
With the Khan, you play to win trades more so than like force Nando a trade to not even happen, right? When a Nando puts up a shield for a DPS and you're pushing an angle, like you're basically saying there is no trade. We win, you know, unless you can bust our shield this fast.
Yeah. But basically, like, Con, that first release patch was, like, completely changed from the very start. And SK, I think, was, like, them and I think RNG were really good at the Con at the start.
Yeah, I didn't get to play against RNG much during that patch. I don't remember what team. I don't remember if I was on Gank or not.
Yeah, you were on Gank. Yeah. That was after the first land you guys did.
Con wasn't playable at the land, right? I think that. Okay, I think
Vegas one. The Vegas one, he was playable. No one touched him though.
No, but I think I was on Hands of Justice when Con came out, like initially. Because if Con was playable at a LAN, I joined the team like 2 weeks before LAN. I know that because I had a whole trip planned to visit my girlfriend, and I had to play the flights out of where I was staying with her instead of out of home. Like if yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But yeah, Willow is a defining character in the meta. We can shift back because now we're kind of talking about like even older stuff. Like Land is practically already old news at this point.
Yeah,
we can go a little. We can try to come back a little bit. I'm actually gonna have to change the name of the next topic while we. What? No, that's not Land again. It's definitely not what it is. Oh my god, did we already talk about all these things? Oh, that was before his abilities got announced. That's why. Last time we spoke about him, we were just like, maybe he's going to be a fire mage.
Yeah, maybe he's going to have a melee attack. Feels bad. Kinda, though. Kinda.
Kinda.
A little bit different.
Claws actually further. His guns are more melee than his claws. His claws go further.
Yeah. Dude, no one is using his claws anymore. Every time I see Koji now, the claws are just, like, never used. Abilities never touched.
Koji. You're still calling him Koji?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
people are gonna make fun of you for that. I'm just warning you.
Koga's not. It's not a hero. It's all Koji.
It's a Pokemon trainer.
Koji from Brawlhalla. I remember the name now of the game. Is a melee and he's a ranged character. So like it just fits everything that I thought Koga was going to be.
Speaking of Koga, I mean, not every team. The PGS teams aren't scrimming with him. We do when we scrim PPL teams. Like we're like, yeah, sure. At least us. I don't know about the other ones. But no, he didn't actually. He called me. He called me wearing it already. I'm just wearing this because it's comfortable. I mean,
Meta Threads, perfect jersey, perfect.
Some German company made this. Meta Threads is great though. I think they made the selfless jerseys. Anyway, I'm not sure how Koga is really feeling. I've definitely played against. I've played scrims with Koga where he like feels really powerful, or I've played scrims against Koga where he feels useless. Like wet paper towel would have been better than Koga in their comp.
Yeah, he's a very niche type of role right now, just because like he doesn't win 1v1s often, right? Like he doesn't have any like good DPSs that he can trade off of. You're going to need to have like a damage boost with them. So like you have to like wait to last pick him or like last rotation him and like know it's good DPS he's playing into.
The way I see him is he's like a more distraction oriented Talus, if that makes sense.
Like more mobility.
He can walk straight into the fact that he can stall longer. Like when Koga goes in, he's not really looking to get out so much as he's just looking to harass and live long enough off of generally the adrenaline junkie resets. I mean, I think that's usually the preferred playstyle unless you're running Master of Arms, like Tank Shred kind of thing. You run the adrenaline junkie, you constantly get energy, you're constantly invincible. They're looking at you, and hopefully your team moves in during that time, or they're baiting you. You know, that's kind of that seems to be where Koga is. If he hasn't gotten there already, it's where he's gonna at least settle.
Yeah, and at the very start, everyone thought he was going to have like a very high skill cap. It seems like that went down a little bit, in my opinion. I do think like he still has a decent skill cap, just not as high or like what people expected was going to come from him.
The bullet hose part of him kind of toned that down, I think.
Yeah. A lot of people thought, like, when he first came out, looked at his build, he's like, oh, he's going to be insane, you're going to be swapping forms, you're going to have to worry about your HP, the enemy's HP, how much longer can you stay in this form, all this stuff, and really it's just him, LMG, people down.
Then they played Master of Arms and then went, oh, this is Koga. My favorite thing is so far is, like, when pubbers play Koga, and they don't realize how terrible Skewer is. So it's like, they're like half health, they're like, ha! And then they're just behind you like, what do I do now? And they just die because they can't do anything because Skewer is so bad.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever not called out someone skewering in a pub on my stream. Anytime someone does it, I'm like, he doesn't know! But one thing, I think Koga could see a movement into more relevance with, like, I saw Rock running this build in pubs. I think if Torv comes back into relevance at some point, whether it be through buffs or just through general meta shifts,
1.4 buff.
It's pretty good. It's not great. I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
But if Torv were to come back to relevance for whatever reason, whether it be on August 22nd when this patch comes out or down the road, I think Koga will shift up too, because like just a Koga, a field study Torv bubbled, a max speed agility with the 50% Wind Dancer, with Master of Arms running at you is going to kill you.
Yeah, there's almost so nothing many you can buffs do. To him. Yeah, there's a lot of buffs to him. And like that's somewhere where he thrives, because like he can't win the 1v1s, right? You can't play Koga into an Andro and just expect to just run at him, LMG him down, and win all the time.
I'm just laughing at you having to be like, you can't play Koga. Yeah, you can't. You're not going to win only at most flanks. You need a pocket of some kind.
And that's where like the Torvald's going to come in, the Janos, the Furia, and all those, supporting and playing around him and winning based off that. And we'll see if it works. No one really knows yet.
We'll have to see, honestly, once more teams scrim PTS. I mean, the PGS teams are all going to be scrimming live, because the patch doesn't come out until after the final qualifier week.
Which is in 2 weeks, right?
Yes. Literally, the patch comes out the day after the round robin. The round robin to get into the 6-week bracket.
Yeah, so are you guys playing...
We are guaranteed in to the final week. So, for those of you who don't know, I'll talk about... I'm not going to make a PGS topic. We don't have... I'm making as we go. I just got lucky. These first two were already set. The PGS now... The previous format was there's 3 weeks of qualifiers. If you qualify in week 1, 2, or 3, you don't play in the next weeks. And then week 4 was all the qualifying teams play in a final bracket for money or a lane qualifier spot and money and crystals. Now, the way it works now is it's 2 weeks of open bracket. All you play for in the first 2 weeks is points. So it's like 100 points for first place, 60 points for second place, 40 for third, descending, so on.
All right, so you guys are playing next week, right?
Yeah, we're playing this upcoming Tuesday, and then every team plays the next week to get more points, ideally, for seeding. right? Even if you win week 1, if you win week 2, you're guaranteed first seed in whatever groups are made later. So then week 3 is, I heard this is BO1. I don't know. It could definitely be BO3, but apparently it's BO1. The top 8 teams are put into 2 groups of 4. And it's BO1.
I mean,
we just played we played 4 BO3s, or sorry, 3 BO3s and a BO5 on this Tuesday. Why can't we play 3 BO3s? What's the problem?
Thing is, that's a lot of games, right?
But so was all our games. We just played more to qualify. We're going from. No, you don't play 7 teams. You play 3 teams.
No,
it's 2 groups.
You play 3.
It's 2 groups of 4, and the teams play within the groups. So it's going from, how many maps did I play? How many maps did I play on this Tuesday? Let's say 1, 2, 3.
3
maps, and then 2,
3.
3.
Yeah, so 6, 10.
Yeah, so 10 maps.
And now you're only going to play 3.
So what? Are the games over? We start at 6:30, or the game's over at 7:30?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
Is Rude busy that day or something? Like, are we doing is something going on?
I could understand, like, not really BO2, but 2 games, right? You would either get 2 points from it, or both teams would get 1 point from it. I could understand that.
I think there could be too many BO3, ties that way.
I mean, you would just break the ties with a BO1.
Yeah, because you have time to play it, because all these games only took about an hour and a half.
I think it was just, like, maybe organizing it would have been annoying, right? Because, like, they organize less and less teams as the, like, brackets go on, right? Because they're organizing, probably 6 matches at the very first round. Then it goes down. Or no, it would have been 8 matches. Or wait, 4 matches, right? 4, 2. No, it would have been 1 more. So 8, 4, then 2 matches, right? And then 1.
Yeah.
So now they have to organize 2, 2, 2, 2, 4 matches 3 times in a row. It's just more organization for them. Right?
Yeah, but you'd have to do it even faster because of the BO1.
Yeah.
You organize everything. Rude's gonna have to be doing map drafts for 8 different teams. Like that fast. It's like map draft, go. Okay, you can start, you can go. But a full BO3 series can just go. You know? Set them all. I feel like that's a lot easier. I don't know.
I honestly would have preferred BO2, I think. I think that would have worked.
I think BO3 would have been fine too. BO3 would have less chance of tie. Less chance of tie, and it's still less games. If every game goes to 3, it's still less games than you would have played in a full bracket. Literally. Because it's 9.
Is it?
We played 10.
Oh, well, yeah, for you guys.
Yeah, let's say if every game was a 2-1, and every game was a best of 3, it would only be 9 maps. We played 10. And that was not dropping a map other than to Saki Pups.
Yeah.
It could have been so much more. How many maps could it have been max? 3, 3, 3, 5?
Yeah,
it 14?
Yeah. Yeah, it probably would have made more sense to do BO3 or BO2.
Oh, well. Anyway, 2 qualifier weeks into a 8-team, 2 groups of 4 round robin. And the top 2 teams from each group from that then move into a 6-week double round robin system where I believe the winner will go to the first place team at the end of this season goes to the PWC. The Paladins World Championships at HRX at DreamHack Atlanta in November at some point. I don't got the date. Everything but the date I had.
I don't think anyone has the date right now.
Off the top of our heads,
I'll come as it goes.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the bracket for week 1. I guess we can keep talking about the bracket for week 1 of PGS.
Woo! Someone maybe we should have soft.
Rude was too busy catching the dub to seed the brackets.
Dude, I don't understand why I didn't soft seed it. Like he could have asked, I think, any PPL team, and they would have been able to at least get the top 4 teams, right? Two good teams on each side of the bracket.
The top 4 teams played. I think we played each other one after the other.
I do think Stigma's team and Toa's team. I think they have potential to be good. Do I think they're better than the top 4 right now? I think they're a little bit below them, but they're. You guys had such a hard bracket. It does not make sense. Soft seeding when it is
the bottom
so
side of the
much.
bracket, it was a death side of the bracket. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and arguably the best two teams. I mean, just going by the results you see, right? I'm not going by scrims or anything. Like, we had an insanely close game round 1. I remember purely talking about what you see. We stomped round 2. We did. Ferocity put in more of a fight, but it was a pretty dominant game in our favor. And then the BO3 was pretty much the same about as the Ferocity game. Like, straight through. And, like, our hard game was round 1. Like, they should have been on the top side of the bracket, at least. You know? Maybe maybe Rude didn't realize who they were, or whoever seeded the bracket. I'm not sure if it was Rude. Because of the name change.
It was just definitely fully random. It was fully random. There's no way he just seeded it at all, right? Because, like, you guys would have had a bye. You guys went to LAN last time. So you guys would have at least had a bye.
That's true.
Yeah,
but either way, the seeding was fucked. I'm glad it was fucked for our sake, because I got a really cool stream out of it. 123
that
people.
was entertaining.
123 people spamming Ocean Man in my chat while I played the worst game of my life. I literally could not have played worse that first set, dude. It was an atrocity. I could not. I'm like, I'm glad I played well the rest of the time, because, like, other than jumping off the map that one time as a ruckus, I literally could not have played worse.
Yeah, the first set was a little rough. You guys ended up getting it though, a little bit. But I love how they added that people can finally fucking stream PGS. So good.
I can finally do reviews of them because I wasn't allowed to either.
Yeah, that was another weird one that I heard about, where like you couldn't watch.
You couldn't watch unstreamed games.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Yeah.
If the game wasn't played on stream, just the fact that it was in a bracket, part of the PGS that was streamed, means I couldn't watch it on stream. Did I already do it in the future? It's in the future, because you guys already saw every game worth watching from what I heard. Yeah, even then, it's on everything now. It's not Facebook exclusive, so you could even record your POV and play it later after the games are streamed for the later ones. But the open brackets aren't being streamed. Should have partnered with Facebook. Tell them if they sponsored Selfless, maybe I would have been partnered with Facebook. Who knows? Maybe I would have had 2 viewers watching my This Chain Reaction podcast right now. My mom and G Bunny's mom.
Wow, some fat viewers right there.
Anyway, we've memed about PGS and other things long enough. We should move to 1.4, which should be the meat of today. And again, we're not going to sit here and just recite. Oh, that's an oldie. That's an oldie.
PPL week 5. I did a pulled prediction that week.
Did not pay off, if I recall correctly.
Didn't work out.
Right. I'll switch to 1.4. Okay, so 1.4. There's a lot going on, and I'm glad we got to play. Originally, I was going to have. I'm going to take a bite of my wrap while we talk. Originally, I was going to ask G Bunny to be on PTS so I could switch. He could switch to like screen share, and we could like test things out. Maybe we'll do it at the end if there's like 1.4 related questions, but I did all that earlier today on my stream, so I pretty much know anything that you guys would need to ask, like about the new stuff. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about the patch overall? It's the consensus seems most people are very happy with all the changes they made.
Yeah, I like the changes. I personally think blasters could have been toned down and even a little. Well, Drogue specifically, I think could have been toned down a little bit more than he did. But other than that, I think everything was really good. Finally, we have some new content. It's been literally the same meta, I feel like, for the last 3 months now, or 2 months. Way too long to have one single meta, or at least have the meta be very, like, they didn't impact it, like, every patch, right? They were still doing the patches every, like, 2 to 3 weeks. It's just, it was very, very minor buffs and balances, so, like, it just felt like the same game the whole entire time.
The only changes, really, between the whole time was, like, Willow wasn't played, and then she was.
And that wasn't even balancing.
Yeah, that was just people figuring stuff out. Like, Willow wasn't good, and then people were like, wait, Willow's been good this whole time. Thanks, Nubicabra.
Yeah.
And then they released Furia. That was, like, the only changes to the meta. The Furia coming out, and Willow shooting to popularity. Otherwise, it's basically been the same since Last LAN, I would even say. It's really been going on for... Been the same for quite a while. This This is going to be a decent shakeup. I mean, what I'm thinking, at least we scrimmed a little bit today. My guess is that the top of your draft is going to be very similar.
Yeah.
But the end of your draft is going to potentially look very different.
Yeah, it opened up a lot more options, right? It made stuff that isn't viable while not making the stuff that is really viable worse, right?
Yeah.
They kind of did a lot of buffs, not a lot of nerfs. So what that means is there's going to be more options throughout the drafts, and there's going to be more just getting at the top of the draft what you want and what you want your comp centered around, which I like, and I like the optimization for it. And I think it's going to make the meta really fun.
Solo busing was banned in the PGS, Rubu.
What's up?
So I'm just correcting Rubu. Because solo busing was banned in PGS.
Yeah.
Not sure why. Emoji no longer first banned. You're right. In general, the changes, I mean, the ones I originally was confused about were like the Sha changes. The Sha change and the emoji change at first. People were like, what? But it makes sense. I mean, like,
yeah.
When do you ever play... Shaw's a little different because Shaw, like, people have been shifting
FPS
to explosive arrow, and some people meme around with shifting sands and recurve, but like, pretty much you almost always ran Desert Shadow for Shaw, and if you weren't running Toot, you were probably feeding, realistically. Yep. So they made those changes specifically just to shake up the legendary meta for those characters, because like explosive arrow is going to definitely see more play now, I think. Maybe even recurve could see play.
Think it's probably going to be recurve. I'm not a fan of explosive right now. It still feels like a little bit buggy if you play with it, and then shifting sands was good. It was the best, but
shifting sands was the best.
Well, no, the
Desert Shadow
one. Yeah, Desert Shadow.
Okay.
Shifting sands terrible. You would never use it.
Yeah,
but Desert Shadow was good. Towards the end of it, some people were going explosive, especially because the Shaolin FPS bug I feel like was bothering every single DPS. At least on Splice it was.
One big part of explosive too is like if they have a bunch of reveals, then there's no reason to run.
Yeah.
Like Desert Shadow, you're not going to get as much value out of it. So then you're an explosive.
So it just leaves, I think, recurve for this patch, right? Since the other options I think are still The Moji change I didn't like. I think Moji just needs to be kind of like thrown in the trash and, you know, remade. The main reasoning for their nerf was because her win rate was like insane. It was like 60-something% throughout like all the ranks and all that. So they nerfed her, but like she still is going to see probably zero competitive play at the top, I feel like.
I don't know. I still kind of feel like not anymore. With Toot, I still feel like she could have been part of some like crazy set strats. Like really, if the meta got really, really deathbally, it could have been okay. But without this Toot, like
she's not going to be picked. Like not at all. And even then, like it was on a very specific time you would pick it. It actually saw play at LAN, right? I think it was
one game. Navi, Jaguar Falls.
On Jag. And lost,
they
right?
Lost. Yeah.
And they lost hard.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was a 4-0. Yeah. I could be wrong. Maybe a 4-1 or something.
Yeah.
It was a pretty dominant game against the Moji.
But yeah, like, she needs to be rework her base kit, and then also her legendary cards, I think, all need to be looked at. I
think
there's just a lot of off things
might be
her.
Okay, actually. For specific, it's a counter death ball thing. Right? Like if they're grouping like 3 people up and you get like it's Moji Scorch.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy the splash you can get, right? Isn't it like you would do like the full damage, right? It's like 700 in a radius. Yep. If you get the full marks, that's not bad.
I remember testing that at the start and like never being able to do it though.
Maybe they can up the radius of Boom Boom if it's kind of small. That way it could actually work. It could actually work.
And add something to her base kit.
Yeah, the heal in her base kit could be good. Heal in her base kit, then make Toot only movement speed. That way you can get the heal, the extra sustain, which stacks with the her low health healing card that I don't remember the name of for the life of me right now.
But I mean, then there's still the same problem of her being like really good at lower elo and medium elo, because like she had like a 60-something% win rate global. Now in high rank, that's probably like 10 or 20%, but
I can look it up. Lower. I mean, you can look it up. I can't. If I move anything on my PC, you're gonna see like Thebettermeta.net, I believe, or .com. Hopefully, thebettermeta.net's not like a porno site, but to send you there. But let's see. Think about the changes. I mean, one thing I like about this is it's going to add diversity to the support slot, assuming everything continues performing okay. Because Ying, my opinion right now is I think Grok can be, and I'm sure this is going to get quoted from me in the future of how dumb I was and how awful this is. I think Grok can be a Damba replacement on smaller maps where the distance on his left click doesn't mean anything, because he has you give up. It's a trade, right? They both have intangible movement. Damba's goes a little further, but Grok, if he doesn't want to leave an area, he can use it just to cleanse caught and heal himself. Grok has the better secondary AoE heal, right? They both have a direct target heal and a secondary AoE heal. Grok's secondary heal is better. Oh, new Grok with the heal beam I'm talking about. So Grok can use the heal beam to pocket a certain one champion, and then he can use the totem to spread the heals, just like Damba would use a gourd. And his ult is more aggressive. Like Damba's ult, I feel, is more defensive. Like you can use it aggressive, but a lot of the times, if their team is playing properly around it, you're just going to be using it if a flanker gets on you, or as a quick last second protect a point.
Even then, the flanker could get resilience or have built-in resilience, so then it's basically useless. While the Grok, you're always almost going to get a ton of value out of it, because the movement speed for your ally is really good, the slow's good, you're doing damage, you're healing, so you're always going to get value out of that ultimate, while the Damba you won't. The thing I like about the new Grok is the new totem, where you can just place it pretty far away. I think that means we could be seeing healed, the old heal Grok coming back into meta maybe a little bit if CC becomes good again.
Maybe.
Or if they do another balance change where they take out CC resilience out of some people's decks, that would be good. They still kept all those cards.
I can kind of agree with that, cuz I see what you're saying. Damba does bring more utility in the stun and in the fact that his ult is CC as well. I think maybe it just depends on the comp you have. But yeah, he doesn't bring utility beyond his healing. Outside of he can bounce shock balls, doesn't keep pressure up, but it's not as good without Maelstrom. Ying I think also has pretty good healing now, but she's kind of like Seris in the sense of she's giving you a bunch of healing, but that's it. Yep. Seris can have some utility with her ults, but most of the time her utility comes in her healing and her getaway, and Ying has good healing and a good getaway.
And a really good ulti for a team.
Yeah, really good ulti for a team. I mean, it's definitely easier to capitalize off of a Ying ult than it is to hit a Seris ult perfectly.
Yeah. And even then, the Seris ult, you can get Resilient for it, while the Ying ult, all you can do is really have caught on a prison. When they can just
to be fair, most people are going to have caught anyway. It's not oh man, I got to go out of my way to get caught. Oh god.
Yeah.
This Ying ult, it's really putting a hamper on my buy. Trying to think. Pip is the one that we didn't get to mess around with today. I think there's a lot of potential in Pip. I mean, a Mega Potion, if you hit your AAs, Mega Potion's basically not you can get the same burst in left click, right click, left click, left click potion, left click. Excuse me, sorry, I have different controls than most people. You can get the same 2400 burst. It's not in an instant, but it's more sustained even after that.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a reset too, but there's just so much more utility I feel with having that left click, because you can heal multiple people at once. They always actually big enough for it. You can also heal an ally while doing damage to an enemy. There's a lot of numbers to it, which I like.
Having that crazy slow on a healer is kind of
yeah.
Think of it when Damba, before he had Spirit's Chosen, when his ult was well, I keep forgetting, what was Spirit's Chosen originally? That wasn't what that did at first.
I do not know.
It wasn't. Because before I said it was when you ult someone, they're marked for double damage, but then someone told me I was wrong, and that became the stun legendary.
Sorry, it's took 20% increase.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what not double damage, 20%. Yeah, that's what it was originally. Okay, that's what I thought. Someone told me I was wrong last time I said that. But before that, Ripened Gourd was the pick. Yeah, exactly. Ripengorb was the pick, and now, Pip has that sustained healing with that little burst healing, and he can stun somebody. He
Not
brings
a
the
fan
utility.
Of Gord, by the way.
It's bad. It's just RNG. It doesn't matter. It's funny.
RNG. Now, if they stacked, that would have been a fun mechanic. But
fun.
Also
fun.
Fun.
And then you play a pub and you're on point, and suddenly you're in 5 gourds. You're playing Barrack on point, and you're like, you failsafe, and your failsafe's gone, and you're like, how did that happen? Where is all this damage coming from? Oh, there's a Damba flipping 80 coins, just gourding me constantly.
Yeah. But there's no way that sees play. I mean, there's a very slight chance, but I highly doubt it.
If they rework it, maybe. Like,
yeah.
Maybe if they make it just 2 charges on Gord or something, like... Maybe you can see play against like a really heavy early caught team because you're not going to get as much value out of Spirits Chosen.
It's gonna see
my ranked games. You're right. Listen, I'm happy that they gave Ying at least something, so I'm hopeful on the loading screen. Like, instead of just immediately losing hope when someone picks Ying, now they pick Ying and I'm like, oh, this could be good.
There's a chance.
And then we load in and I'm like, this could be good. And then they pick a lifelike and I'm like, it's not good. And then all my hope goes away. Who we talked about, I mean, Pip could be good. I think Pip bringing his consistent healing with that, his ult and the slow are so big.
Yeah, he's definitely main healer potential, I feel like, right now, just because, like, he has, like, the range of Damba, right? You can heal someone across the map from you.
The issue with that is the travel time, though. I think that's going to be his biggest limiter, is the travel time of the pipes. Like, because, you could be on Ascension on your side of point, they could be all the way up against the tunnel going up to their last, and you can hit them, but if they're under any fire, you're never gonna
consistently hit
you're not gonna you can consistently hit it, but it just takes so long to get there.
Another thing is, like, his ultimate's still just as good. And like with combat medic, like, you don't have to go like Chronos, you just go morale boost with it, and like that feels really good with the build.
Spam more ults, have reload speed in your base. Sorry. Have reload speed in your base.
The dab sneeze.
Oh no, it's gonna get clipped now. Reload speed in your base case. You don't need to get deft hands. You could just rush morale, have more chickens, more utility on top of the pretty fair healing that you have now. Deft hands. Well, you can just run the reload speed in your base kit.
Goes all the way up to 35%. Feels really good.
It's not bad. I run it at 4. I don't think it's bad there. I have it at 4 with reload maxed. Diminishing returns, though. I know. I mean, I'm assuming you're messing around because of the tryhard, but diminishing returns, it fucks you a bit. Grover. That's the other one. His healing is just slightly better. There's no diminishing returns to reload speed. I thought it was every value has diminishing returns except Caught. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, Grover, small buff to his healing makes the Efflow a little better. Efflorescence, a little bit more value. The Deep Roots is where things could get interesting.
Yeah. For double healer, that definitely has a lot of potential. Just because, like, right now, Cripple definitely has a pretty good spot in the meta. Some people's been running for Cripple Nara recently too. Over DR, we saw that a lot in the PGS.
Cripple does a lot against meta champions. Like, other than like BK,
Cassie.
Like like other than like just BK and Anara, what doesn't get at least somewhat hindered by Cripple? You know, it's basically just those two. I mean, there's no way I'm not forgetting somebody.
Now. Yeah.
Pip suffers. If he wants to wait this away, he can't. I mean, that's big. Pip, Tune Cripple. Khan loses his dash. That's not the end of the world. He can use that to close gaps.
Isn't it a cripple if you pick the legendary card for it? What Beanie said.
What is? It's a root and a cripple.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We're just talking about Grover's value in general on top of the deep roots. It's cripple and root, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's definitely going to be really annoying to play against. It's going to hurt the death ball comps, which are pretty common right now with all the healing in the game that's going to happen. Still plagued by bugs though. That's the only problem I have with Grover right now. There's the vine bug. There's the healing bug that happens a lot too.
I haven't had the healing bug in a while, or the vine bug.
Really?
Actually. Honestly, I haven't had that bug even experience with Grover recently.
I swear that is the biggest counter displace. Just trying vine bug aspect happens all the time too. Oh my swear.
Dude, I've played
like,
full games with Vine Grasp 5, and
really nothing.
yeah, nothing.
Wow.
Seriously. And like I'm talking like I would even sit spawn like, hey, yo, look at me, look how far I can vine, like like just getting my team's attention because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's definitely still a thing. It's definitely still bothering a lot of people. But other than that, I think his kit looks pretty good. Now is it better than the other healers?
Probably not. I mean, he's probably a good supplement. I think if you're running like a more split comp, he could maybe with Deep Roots be like a good secondary, like on Timber maybe. You know,
Kinda like
people used to run Grover on like Frog and Timber as like a secondary sniper. You know, that was before Strix, to be fair, but maybe I don't know. Maybe he could see a return to that role, supporting another mid-range DPS while also doing his poke. Maybe Ferocity comes back, dude. Who knows? Ferocity Grover.
That would be a fun one.
Oh god, Ferocity Grover's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to play. Is it good? No. Probably won't be good either.
I've been a Deep Roots fan for a while. I'm very happy it got buffed. I just love...
It definitely needed it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought there were definitely comps where it could be good. The issue with it was resilience.
Yeah.
That's like the big issue. Like Resil, just you walk away. You know, it's like you're like, oh, it's like you got tripped up for a second and then you're moving.
1 second cripple.
But the buff to Deep Roots, the chaining means that even if you hit someone that has resilience 18, you know, that
could still affect someone else.
It'll potentially chain. And now you're getting.
And it's a pretty long range too. Like it's not even like it's a really like small range. It's pretty decent.
I don't know. It's okay.
So.
It's like medium range. I mean, like if you throw it at the skies, if you can chain stuns between roots between the skies and the back of the trading range, but like the two that are like the first two that
separated,
are like this from each other, you can't chain like between them. Like so, it's not that big. It works, you know, like it'll do stuff in teams that are like kind of shifting around each other, but
yeah,
like on a team holding positions, like you're not going to get like insane 5-man chains or anything. You'll usually just root like the two people that are pushing an angle, the tank and the DPS.
Yeah,
making use of that is up to the rest of your comp, and ideally you're drafting around having a Deep Roots Grover, you know.
Yeah.
Other support, Sarah's got a small buff with the range. Actually, it's funny how much overkill. No, she got a range buff too. Do you know how much overkill Mortal Reach is now? Mortal Reach went from 400 range to 480. When are you ever going to be healing someone from that far? Ever? Like,
wow.
I think we tried to like theorize that where you could get that angle, and it's like the far high. So Timber Mill, right? You're pushing last, behind the saw blade in the corner, all the way over to like the choke. Like under the bridge, I think. Who knows? We were theorizing. Maybe we're saying like, how far is that distance? Like, how far can you be healing from?
That's crazy.
Imagine getting healed from like the end of the dock by a Ceres on point. Your Kinessa, like, I took 10 damage from the ruckus. Now. Can you heal me? I got you, bro.
That's crazy.
Thanks, Hi-Rez.
480. What?
480.
I know that damage there has got a buff, right? Because
yeah, she went from. I did the math yesterday, earlier today, dude. She went from. Like she's at like 9-10 DPS when she's maxed on stacks, and if you have the max health card, she has like 3,100 health ish, roughly. She hovers around there. Probably, maybe it's good. I mean, the last time I saw off support Ceres being played was it's always SK, dude. SK between PPL season 1 and 2, and only on Fish Market.
You forgot one team that also ran it.
Oh, the team
Nameless.
Yeah.
Oh, Nameless.
You guys ran for Ceres too?
All the time. We would run Damage Ceres with a Damba. Really weird comp, but we did it so often. definitely wasn't good though.
Well, you guys always
It
ran
was-
double support, right?
Yeah,
The
we
damage
ran
combo
doubles.
in that
Yep.
meta.
Mm-hmm.
EUP
And we
Boss
would
is the one
also
that used it
run.
at LAN?
Ooh.
Oh, I wasn't at that LAN. That's why I wasn't thinking. No, I didn't recall that actually, but I should rewatch that. That's the last time. That's the only time I played against it
Mm-hmm.
at the time. That and like whatever team Neo was on at the time did it too. Because I remember playing a whole scrim block and Neo played Ceres like the whole block, and we were like, what? I remember being kind of effective too, but it was just weird, you know.
Was he on Tox at the time? He was on Tox.
It was
for a
Jake's
little bit,
team. Jake says.
Right? Oh, okay. Oh, that was a while ago.
Him, Octile, Waze, B, and Neo. Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
I remember that. I remember that team. I don't remember the name of the team, but I remember that team existed. Thinking of other changes, Cassie nerf really didn't change anything.
A slight nerf, still going to be insane.
It's still Cassie.
There's a Leanne bug too that's happening.
You can't cancel your
right click.
left clicks with the right click.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of big. It definitely
It's alright.
It's a lot of.
It's like
it's sunburn.
the burst is gone, but like her ability to caught and put up insane consistent damage and have such a super free out with her like getting like slurped across the battlefield. I wasn't trying to dab there. I was just trying to put it like I was getting pulled, but yeah, she has that like that dash across the battlefield that gets her out of jail free. Like all that's still a part of her kit.
Still going to be really good, yeah.
Yeah, it's still
just a different playstyle. Not as good in 1v1s now.
Yeah, not as good. Not as good in 1v1s, but
left click, right click, left click, shift, alt. She would literally do like 3,000 damage with the combo.
That you just blew my mind because I was thinking of my binds.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, what is she doing? What?
Yeah.
I'm like, she didn't use half her abilities.
I still don't understand your setup. It is interesting.
It's fine.
Interesting.
For those of you new here, my binds. Left click is base. Left click is primary fire. Thumb is alt fire. Right click is ability 1. E is ability 2. And shift is alt. So you said like shift and then alt. And I'm like, oh, you're already alting. Like, what do you mean?
But yeah, it's not too big. It definitely is going to like change her up a little bit.
It might not even come to life. It's not a nerf. It's
I don't
just
know
a
if it's a bug.
Well, it's not in the patch notes, so we can assume it's a bug.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope. I mean, it's a week-long PTS, so they're going to be taking feedback. I hope somebody gives feedback about blasters.
Now, do we know if Zen is fixed or not? 'Cause
Honestly, he was fixed at LAN, but
yeah,
he's not right now. I haven't tested on PTS. Has anyone tested the PTS yet?
I've had one person tell me that he is fixed, one person tell me that he isn't fixed, so I have no effing clue.
Not fixed.
Not fixed.
Okay. It's a server side. Yeah, it's a server side bug. That's why it worked on the LAN client, right?
Mm-hmm. Zen.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, Zin's still bugged. He's still playable. Just annoying.
Mm-hmm. Very annoying, actually.
Very, very annoying.
Yeah.
Let's see other changes. I mean, there's some stuff that we really don't need to like. We don't need to talk about Buck.
Yeah.
Fucking madness! I mean, it's insane.
That one's not going to like matter for competitive at all. The EV one, yeah, probably. Now I don't know if that makes her better
They're not fixed,
or worse.
by the way. We played with EV
Yeah,
today. It's still broken.
Completely, like, didn't get better at all, or
Flame. Do you think Overwatch podcast talk about bugs every week? Maybe they talk about how they wish their tier 2 scene had any support in the slightest.
Yep. Or when their T2 scene lost like 25 organizations in 2 months, you know?
How there's no support for any team that's not approved by Daddy Jeff. Desync is still a thing. Yeah. Did you triple blink at all today?
He probably did.
He probably did. I have no delay, so he should be able to answer like right now.
But yeah, like if she was fixed, then like it was only
fixed.
1 second.
Okay. So triple blink is fixed, but there's still desync, like dying to your port.
Okay.
So I mean, Eevee's probably a little better against like Genos now, right? Because Genos forces triple blink a lot, right? With the grip.
Yeah. That's why everyone was running 30% grip against Eevee's just to tilt that. I love that deck with Genos. That was so fun to do. But she still has her niche pick, right? She's insane when it's like a good like setup for her and like it's a good comp to play against. She'll just like 1v5, but if it
Yeah.
isn't, she's just going to int and feed and get tilted by bugs.
Yeah, definitely the bug tilting is definitely a big part of it.
Well, we are playing paladins, so where bugs are balancing and not actual bugs.
It's all
Terminus
intentional.
UOP.
It's honestly just like a long con. Long con.
Along.
Oh yeah. Cuss mentioned Leon's shield, and that's a buff to that one guy in my Onslaught games 2 days ago that just went to the point on Foreman's Rise and just stood in the corner on like the high ground with his shield up, and nobody like did anything
Mess
to
with
him.
them, touch them.
The game it basically became a 4v4 without a 4v5, excuse me, without a point. Because what do? I mean, they're just like he's just contesting the whole time. 0 damage got, dude. I had that guy in my games twice in a row, and the game we lost, they just didn't shoot him. The game we
You guys
won,
won a game with them?
yeah, because they were shooting him. Just all I had to do was ignore him. That's all they had to do. Our Ying was like going inside his shield and just sitting there.
What? That's insane.
If the enemy team is smart, it's a hard throw. If they're dumb and shoot him, you'll win. Because they're shooting someone that's doing literally nothing.
But overall, that balance.
Yeah,
change
overall the balance
does
changes.
not
Overall the balance changes are pretty good. I mean, Grok got some love. I mean, he's not going to be all the supports that every time you see them locked in rank, you're like, fuck,
Mm-hmm.
are now a little bit better.
Oh,
They can all be
I
played
even
as
think
a
they're
healer.
good. Like, there is maybe Ying is like the only one I'm still like very iffy about, but I think every like healer is viable right now.
Ying has
Except
a ton
for
of
Saris
healing.
too. Ying and Saris are like the two I'm still like iffy.
It's because
about.
that Ying and Saris don't provide utility.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, and they're just raw healing. And if you have a comp that has like a ton of utility already, and you're like, all we need is raw healing,
Mm-hmm.
it's good. But in those comps where you don't have that,
Yeah.
they'll struggle.
just gonna
You'll struggle a bit with them. What was I found out about a build. We'll go off topic for a second. I found out about a build that Envy told me about, and I didn't know about this. Did you know that if you build the Shatter 5, like the Shatter cooldown card 5, you can shatter your illusions infinitely, and they never explode?
Really?
Yes, they just follow people.
What?
That's all they do. So
Really?
I had a build with that cooldown 5, and every time I shatter, it heals the illusion.
What?
So I said I was like we forced that because we got canceled on. So I was just like, I said I was a security system, and I was just like constantly shattering and healing these illusions that were just like following people and sitting right. At one point, it was on Brightmarsh. There was a Damba standing in tree, just like
Just
with
looking
both
at-
my illusions, just like right in front of him.
I did not hear about that.
It's a hard throw. You need someone healing because you're not doing any healing.
Yeah.
But like you can just annoy somebody because they're trying to move and they can't because there's just these illusions constantly bumping into them. Nobody can hide because the illusions are just sniffing them out. They just hunt them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a security system. I was just blocking their entry and finding them.
That's hilarious.
And you're in resonance, so like they're shooting them. They're like constantly healing them. They're like constantly getting 60% of their health back every time. They're like, what? It was amazing. It was amazing. There's I was like killing terminuses. Because I had high spring bloom too. So I just like kept getting I just kept sending the illusions out. They just didn't stop. This one time, I think I killed this one terminus like 100-0. He just kept killing my illusion. He just kept swinging on these illusions that were getting killed and dying to resonance. I don't know why we had that elo in that game, but anyway, 1.4. I think we've pretty much gone over every major change. The Androxus one might be big. I don't think it's going to be as big as some people think. I mean, Androxus, I think, has always been kind of a sleeper, and this is just making him more consistent. Giving him that extra reset on Nether Step is going to be really good, but I still think it's kind of just putting a sleeper into the limelight as opposed to making him viable.
Yeah, you're not going to be like every single game like we need to pick Andrew or ban Andrew. Like It's going to be like probably the same exact situations where you're going to end up picking him. Like
Yeah.
you're against a Drogue or something like that, and you're like on like a specific map like Bright Marsh or something, and you're just having him float. Very specific heroes still, I think.
Oh, two things I do want to mention actually. Since BK got Royal nerfed, he actually Accelerant.
Got fixed.
Yeah, Accelerant is now going to be playable, and I think it's going to be used at least against some comps.
Yeah.
Accelerant has
100%. Did demo get fixed too?
No. So I've heard.
Okay.
I heard demo. I think Vox posted in the PW and said the demo is still under investigation. Listen.
Okay.
I'll put my 2 cents. I'll put my 2 cents in. I don't think demo was broken. I swear to God. Yeah, regular Grumpy is bugged. It's the same bug as regular Grumpy. But people are just complaining about it. Because they think because they're like behind a shield and it's yellow because you have a shield in the way, and then you're like, but it no red.
Okay.
I think Grumpy is fine.
Demo. Well, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it would be good if demo came back into the meta too with the Accelerant.
Yeah, no, I think demo should just come back because it's just the same as regular Grumpy.
Mm-hmm. And until they fix regular Grumpy, don't bitch about demo.
Didn't I? Oh, it's not me. Okay. I thought he was talking to me. I was like, what? I'm like, 2 lands ago. I was at home crying. No, yeah, so if demo is viable and Accelerant are viable, BK would have a lot open up. Because that would be like, you wouldn't need to like pick a Vivian or something to counter shields. You just have demo does a lot of zoning. Like it's really, really effective.
And even Accelerant I feel like is still pretty good.
Accelerant's good.
Yeah.
Against low mobility comps it shreds. Because if they can't immediately get away, donezo.
I think it's definitely gonna see play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Royal Subjects at 20%, how much play will that have, and will Chain Reaction be the new thing now?
I still think if you're playing BK into like a really mobile comp, like Accelerant won't have as much value unless you can like checkmate a flank with it. You know what I mean? Like just put it like you got a checkmate Grumpy like behind them, so they have to come into you. Royal will still see play against those.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like maybe you can hit every stick, but it's just reliable.
Yeah.
If you're insane, then yeah, just run Chain. You know, if you're hitting every single sticky, on the Eevee that's going in the air, then sure, you shouldn't have been running Royal in the first place. But Royal, I think that's going to be its niche. It's kind of where they wanted it in the first place, but I think they underestimated 150%.
It was 50%. Yeah, 50%.
It was 150, I think, day one. Like day one OB64 level 10 card.
No,
it was like 150 or something. I'm pretty sure, or at least 100%. Can somebody correct me? OB64 PTS day 1 Royal Subjects was like 150. It was 150. Yeah.
That's and now it is at 20%, and it's still probably
maybe usable.
Yeah.
But the other bug fixed, which I think people are sleeping on, is Fortress Breaker should be playable now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Me and Jake argue a lot about Battering Ram. I don't think it's good.
How do you not think it's good? Wait, what? Really?
I don't think it's as good. Like, okay, you can use it as a bully tank in like close range maps, I think. But if you're playing to like dive a backline, I don't think it's good then. What people were using it for at LAN, I thought they could have just ran something else and had the same value, like Rally here or something. The difference is like it's like a step to the side, and you can charge your bash and cover.
I mean, but you're running a whole nother build with it, right?
The Vanguard build.
Yeah, well, is that the charge one, right? That would be like...
What? Vanguard is DR after charge.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what you do is you just, instead of... You just charge your bash, like... There's almost always a place you can charge your bash and cover to make where you want to go. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it just, like, makes you slightly have to adjust your dash. It helps in the middle of the fight, but most of the time, if you're looking to Vanguard into the back line and, like, just take just a metric ton of aggro, you're probably going to die before you get another dash. So what's the point of Battering Ram?
It's on a 9-second cooldown, right? Imagine if you have your ulti, like that you're going to be able to cycle.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, with your ult it's fine, but you're also invincible in your ult.
Well, I mean, you would like go in, use your ult, and you would shift out and 100% get away because like you'd be at like 2 or 3k when you go into the fight.
I think for that style, if Fortress Breaker was allowed, I think Fortress Breaker could have been better because it gives you a shield to dance around. You can kind of dance around the Siege Shield, but it's also shifting, so it's constantly moving you out of position.
You would be able to zone better with the Fortress.
Yeah,
100%.
It's gonna be weaker to Wrecker, obviously, like any shield talent is. But like think of it like Winston, right? Like a Winston dives the backline and he just kites his shield around. That's his survivability. Ash can have the exact same thing with a Fortress Breaker.
Yeah, it definitely. I think is at least going to see it. Like a lot of teams are definitely going to try it out, see like how they work with it and like how much they could get away with it. I do love right now, love battering ram Ash. It's just so fun into the other team and like actually get value for it.
You got an idea? All right, hit me with it. 50% Makoa shell spin distance. We Winston diver. Isn't that people are already running that? What do you mean? That with half shell? But I'm saying Ash can do an equivalent, you know? She shoulder bashes into the back line, hits someone, drops a Fortress Breaker, and now she can just shield dance the whole time.
Yep. And the only big thing is to, like, shift right, or, like, use your movement ability right, and, like, just be on, like, an angle, right?
Yeah, just do it from slightly in cover so you're not getting chipped.
Mm-hmm.
Shell speed up, like, climb up walls? Oh, God.
Jesus.
I think really quick because we actually didn't touch on this. What do you think about? I mean, obviously it's garbage. Like we know Davy Leon's locker is garbage, but like, what would you do to it? Like I'm thinking, maybe just like I don't know, maybe just speed it up. Maybe just screw the cooldown. Either right? Would that really be the end of the world? Would it be that good? It'd be annoying.
Really fucking annoying. Maybe
would it be that good? Would it still be better than Leviathan? Would it be better than Leviathan or Half Shell? I don't think it would.
What happens if they gave you DR on it?
No.
Or they made the DR card better.
That might be too good.
But you don't always get the cooldown reset though.
But like, think of the escape from that. That's like battering ram, like old battering ram, right? 50% DR when you're spinning. You're in a fight, and then you're just like, you just spin out. You know, like I think maybe just either don't add anything else, maybe slightly increase the speed, and then just remove the cooldown, maybe, right? Like Geno, Stellar Wind on Makoa.
Yeah,
it still probably would be worse than Leviathan and Half Shell.
It most definitely would be. Like it wouldn't even be close. There's like no situation you'd want it over like Levy or Half.
Yeah, it would be a sprint. It would just give Makoa a sprint.
A fun looking sprint.
Yeah, where you could boot people with it. It wouldn't be that good. It would be playable. It's not playable now.
No,
I think we can agree on that. It's definitely not playable now. I mean,
I definitely thought about it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm just like,
It's playable in the sense that I can click on it and play it, but it's not good.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of for like when I would use it is if I'm on cart against a Jolt 5 BK. That's it. I just shell spin into the wall. Just shell spin into the cart. And then I can't get effect. It's knock. You're giving up Leviathan and Half Shell for knockback immunity.
Yeah,
it's absolutely not. It's bad.
It's not even close. Yeah, it's terrible.
I think that's all.
Victor change. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah, burst mode.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's pretty good.
I didn't test it out.
It's pretty good. It's. You can still. There's definitely going to be some maps you run shrapnel.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some maps where burst mode is better. It's just going to give him flexibility, I think. It's a lot of damage, and it's actually a good record.
So it's like a really good buff, right? Because like Victor was already seeing some play at the end of last patch.
No, I wouldn't even say it's a bit of a buff. Like I'd say it's a buff for him on bigger maps, but like you still might run shrapnel on some of the small maps just for the massive AoE.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they also like fix his left click, right? His hip fire. Left click?
Yeah,
right?
It's more consistent.
That's good. Whenever I would just see someone running like hip fire, I would just crack up on like the death cams because like it just looked so dumb and
You know
so.
what the worst part's gonna be now? Getting hacked, like having a
Yeah.
hacker play burst. Oh, you're actually screwed. It does
It's the headshot,
1,000 per headshot. If you do get the full burst triple headshot, it's 1,000
Really?
damage.
So it does like.
Well, it's sorry,
330?
excuse me, it's 990.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
1,000.
330 per headshot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you shoot how much every second?
Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
Okay.
Generally.
So, okay. Damn. Yeah. Really not looking forward to a hacker with Victor now.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and it also kind of removes the necessity of getting ammo cards. It gives you a lot more just value out of your cards, right? Because Victor normally will just like melt through his ammo pretty quick, but burst it'll be a little slower, so maybe you can put more points into like health, DR,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, things that could help him out in other areas. I think that's everything in 1.4. I mean, we don't really need to talk about the content. It's pastime from TF2. Everyone was saying Lucio Ball. It's not even close to Lucio Ball. It's pastime from TF2. Hold on, I have to meme in chat really quick. Excuse me. Oh, I turned my mouse off to save battery. I forgot. Hold on, I have to meme in chat. I'm at 2S. I don't know if there's anything else really to discuss. I mean, I think we could talk about PPL, but there's not much to say. I mean, if any changes are happening, they're not announced or whatever. We could talk about that next week. We could just skip to the Q&A now.
Should we talk about like what comps we're thinking that are going to happen in like 1.4?
We can
Like, is it going to
make
be
a prediction. I mean, again, we think it's going to be pretty close to 1.3. Just like the healers are going to be different.
Now, do you think it's going to be leaning more towards double healer now than what it was? Probably is what I'm thinking, right?
Map dependent.
They got more flexible cards. Well, at least legendary cards with like Grok and Pip and Grover, even for like secondary healers. To like pair them up with the Janos.
I think it's still going to be map dependent. But like the thing is, you think that, but in hand caught is still a thing. Not a single COD card got changed.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mave card. I don't think the Mave card is that great. It's okay.
Nah.
It's alright. It's actually not that bad. I messed around with it.
But it's not going to change her, I don't think.
No.
There's no way.
I do still think Mave is... I think Mave could be... is more playable than people are giving her credit for.
Yeah.
I just think her ability to poke and get in and out that effectively is
viable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Furia nerf. That was actually huge.
Oh
The
yeah.
ceiling thing.
Yeah, they'd half that shit. They needed to half it.
They have that, and I'm
still
still worried it might be really good.
Yeah, it's still going to be really good. I think Furia is still going to be probably a top 2 healer. I don't think there's any way she isn't. Like, her ultimate's still like probably the best one, I think, out of all of them. Gives her vulnerability, so it could be self-peel. And it also makes your allies fucking amazing. Like,
Yeah,
the amount of damage you get is just fucking insane. It turns the fight, right? Like, the other team's engaging on you, you just pop Furia ulti, and like your team just fucking instantly blows them up. It's so stupid.
Don't mind that.
Covering up
My
the
friend just
splice.
keeps messaging. My friend is drinking, and he keeps messaging me that come play TF2, come play TF2. All right, sorry. Yeah, I agree. Custa's right. The supports are kind of getting equalized a bit. Furia will still be very strong because of her kind of fire and forget ult. I don't even know if fire and forget's the right word, but it's like an easy team push ult. It's a support ult that like all the support ults can be game changing, but it's about how you execute on them. Whether it be a Fear, whether it be a Saris ult, whether it be Pip ult, right? It's hard to screw up the execute of a Fury ult, right? You fast, you damage, go. It's not like everyone shoot this chicken at the same time because they're only going to be chicken for 2 seconds. Make sure our Clouders are shooting it, or maybe a Saris ult like, I hope this works. So Fury ult is very easy to execute on versus
play well,
versus any of the other support ults. I guess Genos ult actually is in the same boat as Saris ult too. But yeah, we've kind of... I think we could just jump to the Q&A. We're kind of already talking to the chat anyway. If we're going to talk about PPL, I'd rather wait till we get a little closer, just so we can talk about any roster changes and stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing.
And when the meta kind of, comes to a somewhat stable point.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to eat my wrap while we ask for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions...
I definitely don't have food right next to me, too.
I'll eat. I don't mind. I have a bit of a wrap. Predictions for PGS. It's going to depend a lot on the bracket. We haven't played
What do you think?
Soggy Pups since that last game. So I don't know how they've adapted since then. But we scrimmed on PTS today, and we don't scrim on weekends. So I'm going to say they might beat us next time we play.
Now, what team do you think is going to do like a 180 turnaround, or do you think no one is? Do you think Tox is going to be a lot better? Do you think Ferocity is going to be better?
Tox is in like the Edge Neo team.
Yeah.
They haven't scrimmed all week. Apparently Neo's in a cottage somewhere. They haven't announced that yet, Cosmic. Like, we had scrims with them booked every day this week.
We did
and
too.
They canceled every single one.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they're going to make a turnaround. Because how could they make a turnaround if they're not playing?
I think the team has a ton of potential, though. A ton.
What do you expect from terms of players competing about qualified teams? Actually, we mentioned that before. I was surprised about both because I thought Fuzzy Logic played well at LAN.
He definitely did.
Like, I thought he did, and I thought Diren was really good too. I didn't think that either of those teams needed to make changes. Like,
yeah, something tells me that was like personal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously it was personal, but like it wasn't because of play. Like they looked like they play well, and it's not like SSG underperformed a little bit, but Burrito overperformed of what like people thought they were going to do.
you weren't ignored, Beanie. We were just waiting to get to you. That question was easier to answer for me. I'm not sure what would happen. I don't think they can be. Isn't there a roster lock after next week? Beanie?
It might reopen back up though.
Personality conflict? Okay. Oh, teams are just roster locked to not switch between each other. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, you might see it then. Just because, literally, this is my only worry about this new system, by the way. Neo to B, baby. Literally, what do you do
if you don't make it?
If you're in tier 2 and you don't make it? What is there? Bomb King Cup? PCCL? I'm laughing when I say PCCL. I mean, that should say something, right?
Yeah, the problem is, like, there isn't competition after it.
Yeah, there's nothing.
It's only good
if you're out of it, it's just PCCL and Bomb King Cup. Like, I'll say I respect the PCCL for putting out what they have, but, like, there's a possibility PGS Blaster Maker. Wait, the roster for the PPL roster locks in 9 days from today? Or are you talking about, like, at the end of the PGS time? Yeah, I'm replacing G-Bunny.
Yeah, I'm actually giving him to this. This is the last night.
This is symbolic.
I mean, it might have, like, the wrong name on it, you know, but,
Hey, Jake wore an El Zulu jersey at Atlanta. It's fine. I'm the Jane of Paladins. I would be if I could have done a single fucking demo review in the last eternity. There's nothing to review. Every single one's on a previous patch. It's annoying.
Big brainers. What about that Widow tourney, though? I'm pumped for that.
I didn't get to that yet. Is that clear? Yes. Yes, custom. It's not a leak. I'll tell you that for sure. If anyone's wondering what I'm eating, by the way.
What kind of wrap?
Chicken Waldorf.
No clue what that is.
Apples, cranberries, walnuts, and chicken.
Seems like,
Delicious, I know.
forgot what I was gonna say.
It's
I
really
feel
good.
like my taste buds would be very confused by that. Don't know how to react to that. Yeah. Sweet
It's
and
hella good.
salt.
All right, listen. I'm gonna blow all your minds right now. All right, when I was a young boy, my father, when I was younger. Thank you for catching that. And I'm talking like, I'm gonna tell the hot dog story, Jake. I don't know why I did this in the first place. No clue. But I always my parents made hot dogs one night, and I had a fruit by the foot, and I wrapped it around the hot dog, and I ate it. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I was very young, right? So I'm like, of course, listen. At the time, I was really young. Of course, it's gonna taste good. I'm combining candy and food, right? Like, it's gonna taste good. I'll be like, candy corn on my pizza, you know, like it's gonna be good, right? But I told the story at LAN, and one night at the LAN center, at the hotel, excuse me, they served hot dogs, and we had fruit by the foot in the room. So I was like, yo, who wants to try this with me? Because it's been so long. I'm like, I wonder if it actually tastes good. So we made it. Me, Zulu, and Jake ate a bit of it. Jake hated it. I liked it. Zulu liked it. The only Zulu
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Now the reason the Zulu we didn't finish it was because the hot dog that they made at that place was fucking disgusting.
Wait, how do you fuck up a hot dog? Wait, that's possible.
I don't know. Ask the. I don't know if I can say the name of the hotel, but like, oh my god, they fucked up a hot dog. Thoughts on Monster Hunter World? I'm not gonna get it, but it looks good.
Huh.
Same hot dogs from the Springland, dude. I don't know what the hell they did, but they were gross. Like I had one with the one I had with the fruit by the foot on it was better than the one without it. Okay. Okay, if you're wondering, here's what it tastes like. Take a bite. There's a little bit of like extra like it's a little bit chewier, but you don't taste the fruit by the foot really.
But then what's the point?
After you swallow it, there's just like a faint fruit aftertaste. That's it. It's really not that bad. Hotel bar meta. It wasn't the stuff that Hi-Rez brought. It was like the hot dog night from the hotel.
Huh.
Yo, let me say, Taco Night was delicious. Taco Night Land was fantastic. Cosmic, I think the only LAN that was ever like that was the old PPL LANs, right? Every team went, right?
I don't.
The first season PPL LAN. No, it was the qualifiers for the PWC. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here. So if there's one coming up, then it's probably a repeat of that. You probably just heard someone talking about like the last one was like that, so maybe this one is too. I don't know for sure. I don't know if the PPL players know for sure. They might. Is it possible for all NAEU worlds?
That'd be really interesting though. Like if you look at it from like a LAN point of view and like a meta point of view, because everything gets thrown up at LAN, right? Like look at last LAN, like Burrito, like came insane, right? And Burrito's considered to be probably on the same level as like RNG and like Splice. Not really NV and G2, but at LAN they looked like they're on the same level or better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so like it'd be crazy to see what would happen at that LAN.
Wait, Cuss, is there... How would that be a possibility? Like, is it just the qualifiers? Is the qualifier separate, right? Can every international team get eliminated in the qualifiers? I thought at Worlds they would be at least a guaranteed team from each region, just like the current lands. Really?
Probably not.
They can. That's crazy, actually. It was every single region again. Dude, I gotta brush up my Russian before. If I go, if B ends up going, I gotta brush up my Russian, man. I gotta talk to I gotta talk to Ovin, my brother. The guys from the systems, by the way, they're super cool. They're awesome.
How's their English?
Some of them are okay. I don't think all of them can.
Okay.
Echoes, yeah, and Ovim. Ovim can speak pretty well.
Shit.
I don't think all of them can though. I feel like some of them can.
Tough topic.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. Okay, I swear to God, I'm not sure if this is actually a thing, but I think Unbi might have just been trying to like avoid Jake, because he was like, Jake was like, oh yeah, where are you headed? And Unbi was like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go to Miami. I think, like just somewhere really. He's just like, I'm gonna go see the U.S. since I'm already here.
Really?
Yeah. Like when Jake said that, I'm like, Jake's like, yeah, I don't know where Unbi is, and I'm like, Jake, I'm pretty sure he just wanted to get away from you. I'm like 90% sure he's like, so Jake's like, oh yeah, where? Because Unbi was probably like, yeah. Jake's like, hey, where are you going? You want to hang out there? He's like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. I'm gonna go to Florida. Maybe I go to California. Dude, who knows? I could be anywhere. Let's see. Each PPL team is forced to swap out a current player for a PGS player. What does each team do? Yeah,
That's a big question.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, pretty loaded. Pretty toxic question too.
Yeah, actually.
Woof. Woof.
Do it? No. Don't make me do that. Fun hypothetical. God.
This is all you,
The
because
question is, like,
I'm involved
who
in
do
the
they
team,
cut?
so I can't. Oh, we'll go. For
I don't want to do the. Okay, listen. I don't want to do like the
SK,
deep cuts
go.
here.
SK first, go. Bottom to top.
I can't talk about that. It's the only one I can't do. They already did it, but I can't say it. The other
Okay,
four,
go to
thank
Spice.
you. Spiced. You still main call for Splice, correct?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be you.
Dun, 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 dun,
Like,
dun,
I think,
dun.
okay, here my logic might be like, I don't know the comm structure of every team, but I think if a team was forced to make a roster change, they probably wouldn't want to change the team dynamic, right?
Mhm.
In terms of who speaks the
How
most, they would
much-
probably get rid of
How
their...
much impact they have on draft?
Yeah, exactly, right.
How
I
much
think
they
most
talk
teams,
when they're in the game?
most teams would probably get rid of their least vocal player in terms of communication, and then pick up, I guess, just whoever the best PGS player. I'm not gonna do this. I don't do this. We're beating around the bush.
Alright, just name the best PGS players in each role then.
Okay.
So, best main tank.
Just try to remember all the main tanks. That's way better. Hold on.
It's less.
I'm bringing up the
tough.
bracket
That
so I remember everybody. That's the wrong screen. Oh no! What am I doing? That you only you don't see.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Kresnik, and some Kresnik.
That's a nice meme. I mean, I'll just say from my team first. I think the best support is Jalen, and I think Bagel's really close though.
Yeah.
And I think the best blaster is Flame.
Do you think Vaz in contention for support?
I think Bagel and I think the top supports in PGS are all really good, but I think Bagel and Jalen are better. Flame over Neo? I think so. And that's someone just play with both.
Ooh.
Stop, Cuss. Don't make me do this. Let's channel on.
Okay.
This is really toxic, especially since you put me on the spot.
It's motivation.
They played a third place match? Frosty. Oh, I guess it wasn't played.
Probably wasn't played, to be honest. Because did he get more points for third? Probably not. Well, actually, that's 50-50. Yeah. So that would make sense if there was more points for third, and you'd have to play it out.
Minus Cuz plus Gross. I wouldn't say that. I'm trying to not include myself in any of this.
Smart. Alright, so back to the main tank. Or who you lock in the main tank? Who you
It's
going?
not massive. Cuz did you hear me during the fucking first set where I was just shitting on myself the entire time?
Yeah, he said his fight.
Every single time I would whiff a shot, I'd be like, I'm the fucking best guy.
Teammate.
Who the hell would Envy get rid of?
Envy, yeah.
Like they're like
Envy's that's a hard one.
Like I don't know who I don't who either top team.
NDG2, I don't.
Here, you know what? Cuz this is my way out. Okay? I almost banned you. Hold on. All right, Cuz, hold on. This is my out, okay? This is my out for this. Only G Bunny gets to see what I'm doing right now. Cuz, can you say something in chat? Only G Bunny can see what I'm doing.
That's a pretty good out.
This is my out, okay? There you go, Cuz. Thanks.
R.I.P.
Now I don't need to do it.
R.I.P.
There's my out. Now I don't have to. Welcome to the Weem team. Enjoy your badge, enjoy your emotes.
Forcefully.
Yeah, I know. But you then you asked for best in each role. Which all gets asked like every week, I feel.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, it changes up 100%.
Mm-hmm. Best in each role, main tank right now. Azure Zulu. It's hard because like I like judging players by playing against them, right? And when do I play against Zulu?
Yeah, I'd probably go Zulu over ASDF right now.
Okay. I'll let you decide that. You've played against both.
Yeah.
The DPS spots are gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So, do direct damage first. DD. What you going with?
Who are the best? Okay, who are the direct damages on each team? Envy from our team.
Envy. I think he had Ozone.
No, Ozone was the
Ozone?
flex tank.
Oh yeah, okay. Ozone was flexing.
Yeah.
Jab.
Edge.
Stigma.
Who's the direct for Poison? No.
Yeah, Poison too.
For Ferocity?
It's Poison and Kerfuffle, right?
No. No, it is Poison because it's Poison and Doppy.
Oh, it's Poison. Yeah, okay.
Because Kerfuffle was he's
okay.
Stigma for Hysaflorex.
Mm-hmm.
Who's it for the Ligma? No. Who's it for the Peace Dojo? The Two Eye Samurai team? Who's on that one?
I do not know that one. I don't think we have scored against them.
Does anyone know who the direct damage is for that team? Jingle Buns. He's the direct damage? No, it's Calexia, because Jingle Buns plays the BK. Okay, it's Calexia.
Yeah.
I think Poison might be the best because of his flexibility. Out of everybody.
But his flexibility is the only important thing.
I think he also has PPL experience, so teams would pick him up.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Definitely think Edge.
If we're talking about like pure like,
if we're like making a whole new team.
If we're talking about like pure like, if a PPL team was looking at somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, who we pick up? I feel like Poison would be high up on the list. just because of his season of experience, his LAN experience.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he did good the first season he was in PPL.
He did good. He actually. I thought he did. I remember liking him. I was like.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
But Beanie, he would still be like one of the first that the people would go for. I think, but honestly, I think it's really close between Jalen, Va, and Bagel. I think they're all very good for support.
Yeah, I think those three are definitely all insane.
Yeah, agreed, Meta. If anything, he's proven himself at the PPL level. They just wanted someone else. You know, who knows what goes on behind the scenes in a team.
Mm-hmm. Now for Blasters, I feel like there's 3 big ones you have to worry about.
What, Flame Neo and
my boy Toa.
Oh, Alexander. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
The last few weeks.
They were pretty impressive. They were pretty impressive in our match versus his Flags.
Oh, and top.
Like, I'll be honest, I have always thought that I've thought for a really long time that Flame was the best blaster in PGS, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still think Neo is insane, but like even when Neo was on my team, I still thought Flame was the best blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Just like playing against them both, like it was hard. Like it's hard to play against both.
Yeah.
Of them, but playing against playing against Flame was more difficult.
I mean, this PGS, obviously, Flame just did a lot better than Neo, right? Like, I think, what were they called again? Your ABCs? They ran
a comp that
comp.
just got like walked over by us.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of messed up a little bit in the draft, you know, giving you Koa, Nando, just some of the best heroes on Stonekeep, you know, doesn't really help out.
Hey, they got Torf. So support.
They got Torf.
Main tank would be. We already talked about that.
So,
off tank would be me, Ozone, Kerfluffle,
and then
Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins. Yeah, okay. Huh.
Out of those 4,
I know who I'd
probably pick. Watkins, because he flexes to DPS the best.
I can honestly.
I think.
Well, do you think he flexes better than Lozum? I think Watkins.
I think it's
better.
close.
His tanks are probably better than Ozone.
They're definitely better than Ozone's.
Yeah.
I think. But there's also the fact that Watkins is also using doesn't he have like a garbage setup?
I do not.
Like, doesn't he play on
he's able to
the
stream.
worst PC of all time?
The man's able to stream and play. It can't be that bad, right?
I just remember hearing it was really bad. And
probably.
I mean, Dethroner with Envy got a PC, right? Oh, Watkins got a new PC? Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Change my mind.
I think Watkins has the best flex potential out of all of them. Because, like, my DPS pool is very limited. I can play all the supports, but I would have to be paired with a support that can play DPS. It worked for me on Hands of Justice. Like, I kept working on my support pool the whole time because it was like, well, Kami has DPS experience, so I'll go support. And then I was on Gangstars, like, well, Jalen was a DPS the whole time, so I'll go support. So I'm definitely the least flexible of the 4.
But you have the best tanks out of all 4. By a decent shot. By a good shot.
No, I think Watkins is a better tank than me. And I feel...
What do you think about Kerfuffle?
Kerfuffle's really new to tank, but I think he was picking it up pretty... Like, he was a DPS for, like, the whole... Like, I don't know what part of the scene Kerfuffle was in before he played on the team with Gooch.
I do not know either.
He was really new there, and, like, the fact that he was... the fact that he came from, like... I'm sure he played on a team before. I just didn't know who. he came from relatively nowhere and then performed pretty well on that team, and now is performing well on an off role. Like, I think the more he plays tanks, he will get very good. If he's not already really good.
It was a complete sum.
Wasn't one map 4-3 and they just C9'd?
Yeah, well, after the game after. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys were just winning that map, though, straight up. But they did C9.
I mean, that's one of our least favorite
Or
maps.
wait, it ended 4-1.
Was it a 4-1 and they C9'd?
Yeah, I think 4-1 or 4-2. That's what I think. Because you guys were up 3-1.
Maybe it was a 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. Okay. Yeah, 4-1 C9. But
yeah, and then I think
they definitely would have won that fight.
I think they got in their heads after because they played really poorly after that.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, like I think they got really in their own heads about the C9, and it screwed them over for the rest of the time.
I did like their drafting though. They had a really good draft for that game one. They just didn't play it right or execute it right. They had good answers for what you guys had, but you guys were able to push it in on them, and you got really lucky with the C9 right there. And they just got like full tilt. The next game, and it just did not look like a good team the second game.
I'll thank my my amazing distraction for. I was just like in the door to dial, and they were like kill. Like I was like, it says like a melee range Cassie on me, just shooting me instead of hitting the point. But yeah, that was unfortunate for them. I think they tilted going into map 2. I don't know their comm environment. I never rang for them. I've only played with Doppy, and I know Doppy is like generally pretty positive. Actually, no, I played a Poison too, a little bit, But
very little.
Right before it was like a week, and then like
really, it's only that long.
I think it might be a little bit less than that, but like he played with us for like 2 days, and he was like, I got picked up for Renegades. Okay.
You're like, oh well, nice knowing you for the week. Have fun. Getting up there.
Yeah, it was just out of nowhere. I think I'm counting the tryout time too, because he like tried out for us, and then we picked him up, and then he was just like immediately on Renegades. It was like, well, back to square one.
Yeah.
That was right before we fused with Nameless, I think. Yeah, that's a reroll, right? Blaster.
Yep. Yeah.
I did everything.
Well, you didn't say, but Zulu.
Yeah.
Then you would have said Watt, and then you went with Flame. Then you went with Poison, and you went with Jalen.
Every PPL player isn't even announced, Beanie.
Now do it for PPL. Whew. PL players are easy.
Best coaches. I mean, isn't there only like 3 coaches in PGS? It's like Jake.
Who's
Rain.
even a sub for PGS?
Quick is the sub for Soggy Pups.
Okay. Who's the best?
Rain is the coach for Ferocity, right? And Soggy Pups doesn't have a coach, right? They only have Quick as their sub, unless Quick is also coaching. I don't know.
I do. I have 0 clue. No info on that. Someone might have blacklisted.
Does Tox have? Does Tox have a sub or a coach?
We'll go with the I don't know.
Okay. If anybody knows, let me know. But I think the only coaches are Rain and Jake. And actually, I'll be honest, that's hard for me because Rain was the coach for Hands of Justice, and I really liked how Hands of Justice was coached. So I don't know. I'm a little torn actually. I don't know how Rain's operating behind the scenes for them, but I know I liked Rain and Shams' coaching for Hands of Justice. The people who
they're both definitely like knowledgeable players. When I was on Aimless, having Rain watch the games was always insightful, and like Champs definitely knew about the game a lot too when he was playing it.
Tox is coached by Splice. Splice, best PGS coach. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Can't fight 5 people. 6 if you're counting Frog. Right?
What's up?
Frog is officially your guys' coach, right?
He's just like watching games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't think that.
Your mic cut out again. But
I said I'm sure he doesn't think that. Oh man, I wonder. Does anyone know if Powtek is still with Fnatic?
I do not know.
Because
that was interesting to see him with Fnatic, though. I did not know about that until like he was at the LAN with them.
He made a cryptic tweet. He makes a lot of cryptic tweets.
Really?
From what I understand, what Powtek did for them was he didn't like give them straight coaching, but he watched all their games, recorded them, made highlights, and then you know about the site, right? Like he has like a whole thing he programmed to like save drafts and stuff, which is the same thing that Splice had too. I don't think you guys have it anymore. Maybe you do. Just know that all information is going to Fnatic also. Or whatever Team POW is working with next, probably.
Yeah.
Do you guys still use that?
Not for a while.
Okay. You can. I mean, it's just like it's the same thing as writing down drafts. It's just on a computer page.
Yeah.
You could be honest if you actually are.
No, yeah.
Okay. Because you were like weird about it at
really
first. You're like you're putting me on the spot here, like because you're using a web page, like. No, it's. Yeah, I guess he's not with them anymore. I don't know. It's weird because he did like something that I thought was probably beneficial for them. I guess maybe they just needed to blame their performance at LAN on somebody. Who knows? Anyway, we've been going for almost 2 hours. This is around when I've been going to bed lately. I guess we can answer one last question if there's still anyone who wants to ask something, and then we'll throw a host to somebody. Sup, cuss?
At least give Cuss the satisfaction of at least one team. At least one or two.
I could say something pretty toxic.
You've got to. If he asks you twice, you know, you've got to at least do it once. And he's your mod, like, come on.
That's true. There's a check mark. How could I say no to a check mark? Remove one PPL player and one PCCL player. Oh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Remove for Beanie's question.
Whoa! Cuss question.
I was gonna say it would have to be Red X,
Back to Splice.
Okay. It's such a hard question. I'm trying to give you an honest answer, but I'm really not sure. Splice would probably. Are you guys public about your like roster changes? Not your roster, like your role changes.
What?
What? Or is that just you guys testing stuff out?
We might have been just testing stuff out. Or we're still all doing the same stuff.
Oh, okay. That makes this a lot harder then, because I was going to make it really easy. Not roster changes. It was just role changes. I just misspoke. Don't mind
We
me.
might have been memeing one night. It might have happened. Not
More than one
confirm
night.
Nor deny. Really? What was... Oh, I actually don't know.
Go look at your...
Oh, no, like, he was just sick. Great.
I'm not talking about a player. There was no roster change. I literally misspoke. I'm talking about role changes.
Yeah, you're talking about role change.
Yes.
But the only role
But the same
change
5
was-
people.
Okay, I'm confused.
Oh my god, I'm just going to type it to him.
Yeah, type it out. Oh, yeah, no, we're not doing
No,
that. Was
okay, literally.
That
We did
was
that
amazing.
multiple days.
Oh, that was like a month ago, though. That was a while, right?
We don't scrim you guys anymore. Can I just say it? Vayne was playing Blasters.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? Just because, like, he's always been a tank, at least at the time we've known him. So I was just going to be like, I don't know, maybe you mix up, like, either you get rid of Vayne and get a main Blaster, or you get rid of Shadow and get a main tank. That's the only thing I was going to say from that. That's the only thing I can think of. That's what I was checking.
Vayne is nuts. Too bad he has Canadian ping and has 130 ping. It can't play. Okay.
He's not actually, but he was for a few scrims, and that's why I was asking. But I didn't want to be like, is Vayne blasting? And you're like, no, I didn't want that or something, you know?
We threw him in there to have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
flex.
That's what I wanted to know.
And Shadow can play main tank too, so like.
Yeah, I know. But I was saying, like, if I were to play someone, then just get someone that's new to a role and put someone who's not. If I had to make a dessert, what would it be? Banana, chocolate covered banana, anything banana related. I love bananas. Cuss, hands down, hands on the floor.
The stash.
I cannot compete with a mustache like that. Those brooding eyes.
That's actually a really good question by West. What do you think is the answer to that?
What, West's question? Oh, the logical reasoning behind Edge's team comp? I don't know. I just like hard pocket one player. Hope they pop off. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but
that's all that.
That's what it looked like from the outside. Because they had like Furia and it was like Furia Torv. It was like Furia Torv, Xin, Genos.
There was one game where they had the Genos. There was one game where they had the Furia. I think.
Punch my grandpa. Right? They're both dead. So, moot point. Yeah. I guess my grandpa, because I would break my grandma's ashes if I punched a. Yeah. I would break the urn if I punched my grandma. So I guess my grandpa.
Just type it.
Just typed that I actually did it. No, because honestly, listen, cuss. I'm not stalling because I'm like being super. I'm not stalling because I'm being super toxic. I'm stalling because I literally just don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to like look at a team, think you know the problem of the team, and think you know a solution to the team without actually knowing the environment.
I'm just gonna say what Beanie said. Minus Loki plus Octa. Easy. There you go. That's my comp out. Easy. Punch steel at Benjamin Bomb. I mean, how hard do I have to punch as hard as I could? Oh, you said that, Jake? You're basically being cereal or PB&J? You answered that, G-Bunny. I've been taking every question.
What's up?
Cereal or peanut butter and jelly?
Peanut butter. 100%.
Can't argue with that. We're gonna host someone. This has been going on too long. I usually go to bed around now, dude.
Who are we hosting?
Let's see. Let me just get this right here.
I see Ricotta or Viral down there. I might be leaning towards Ricotta. I wonder why. You know you're showing it, by the way.
I know. I purposely dragged it over your face.
Yeah,
I did it really slowly until you realized. Let's see.
Rock's at the top, you know.
Let's see. I want to find someone that I want to see if I know someone with like 3 viewers or something. I always do this. Like at a really low viewership stream and try to boop them up. Although sometimes they don't say anything. Once I hosted a guy that was named like, his name was on Twitch was literally like, ooh woo, what's this? And he didn't say a word.
That's some drool stuff right there. Oh, I do not know anyone.
We can host Viral. Viral only has 5 viewers. That could be good.
Ricotta, you know, is only at 10.
We'll host Ricotta next time. 100 Thieves Pro Paladins team? Dude, that guy's got a title.
What? That would be sick.
That was literally this is the title of his stream. I could host Viral, or I host Ricotta last time. Yeah, I'm probably gonna host Viral this time.
Did you host Ricotta last time? I feel like Ricotta doesn't stream enough to host.
Oh, it was a month ago, dude.
Okay.
Well, it's Viral. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time. I'll move this so G-Buck can actually say goodbye so I can show the Splice logo. Actually, I was just censoring the Splice logo. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Resnick incoming, guys!
We already admitted. Alright. Make your shoutouts, whatever you want.
Peace out. Gotta shout out my boys at Mountain Dew, Corsair, Twitch, and Scuff Gaming, you know?
I thought that was the SK logo. Anyway.
But, have a good night, guys.
Yeah, have a good night. Shoutouts to Tiff. Go say hey to Viral. Love y'all. Peace.